this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Now if you take a look at the sky, yeah, kind of gray. Yep, it's going to rain. I think it's supposed to rain in a couple of hours, but you can never tell. Around here, they can tell you a couple hours, and then the next thing you know, it's raining like crazy. So what am I on today? I am on the Magicycle Cruiser. Yeah, it's the wannabe pro cruiser. Not quite pro, but hey, it's been upgraded. Let me tell you some of the upgrades I did to this bike. This is the first review bike I ever had. And so what do we got on this bike? Well, we got two side view mirrors, as you can see. That's provided by Magicycle. Got a blinking headlight, and that's provided by my Magicycle. Got a cell phone mount. I changed out the bell. I think the original bell that comes on the Cruiser is because it had textural brakes. It had a trigger bell right on your left hand, right by your, not too far from your brake lever. But once you change over to hydraulic brakes, which is of course another modification that was provided by Magicycle, you lose that bell. So I put one of my my trusty under $2 bells on the bike. I like these bells because they're really thin, they're circular, it looks like a little cylinder almost, and they're pretty loud, and they're inexpensive, which is always a good thing. All right, let's go up on this path here for a little bit. Again, we're not going too far because it might rain on me. This is the problem we have around this time of the year. I can't go too far away because you never know what the weather's going to be like. I have a front basket on here that was provided by Magicycle. I have a Sun Tour NCX suspension seat post. That was provided by Magicycle. And they also gave me a 20 amp hour battery, but I have the 15 amp hour normally supplied battery on this one today. So yeah, we have quite a bit of thing. Oh, and I also changed out the chain ring. I put a 52T chain ring on here to help with ghost pedaling. I had to duck a little bit. I'm pretty high up on the saddle here, because as you know, I like my full extension for proper riding extension, and so that also means that I sit way up high. So sometimes I gotta duck, especially later in the season when the leaves and the trees have grown. You end up with those things in your way sometimes. Okay, so we got two guys riding side by side. I'm going up past them because they're too slow for me. But I will hit them with the bell and we'll see what they do. So let's sit tight and see what happens. I learned that people can actually hear me as I'm talking as I approach, so I kind of stay quiet as I get closer. So let's hit them with the bell. Let's see what happens here. No response. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, this bike was always a nice riding bike. Adding the suspension seat post, man, it is a dramatically different bike now. Oh, and I also have the extra large giddy up saddle on here. You know, I don't know whether they still sell that or they don't, because I can never find it on Amazon. There's another brand that's very similar to this bike saddle, so I put it in my list of things to look at. I don't have that particular saddle, so I don't know exactly how it works, but this is the extra large giddy up saddle. It really looks kind of strange. It's a very strange looking saddle, but it's kind of comfy. Yeah, it's got like extra wings. I call them wings that kind of cradle your butt. And those wings aren't really supported. They're just kind of out there, so you kind of rock a little bit side to side when you sit on it. Add that to the suspension seat post, and man, you're really cushioned. So anyway, what do we have going on today? Well, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that have occurred since the last video? Well, we do know that the bike is on its way. We have another review bike coming in. We've already mentioned that, so that's coming. FedEx confirms that it will be here on Saturday, but we never know if that's true or not. Yeah, I don't trust those guys. Tell me one thing, but a lot of times it doesn't come out to be what they tell you it's going to be. And then looking at some of the comments from people, we've been talking about the odds and end things like cell phones and Apple versus Android. Yeah, you know, those things have nothing to do with bikes, but you know, it was something we were talking about. But apparently, a lot of people have something to say about it. So yeah, that's good. I mean, it doesn't always have to be about e-bikes all the time, right? But it is an e-bike channel. Oh, here's an interesting thing. I got a solicitation from another bike company who manufactures cargo bikes. Now, this is a different kind of cargo bike. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but these type of bikes are kind of popular in Europe. It's essentially it's like a tricycle, but the two wheels are in the front and the one wheel's in the back. And in front over here is a long basket where you could actually put two little kids in there if you wanted to. They could be sitting there. Or you can put a whole bunch of groceries in there. It's almost like it's almost like a shopping cart, if you think about it that way. It's like a big long shopping cart right in front of the bike. Yeah. So I showed it to Mrs. Wright. Says, "Get a load of this." And she goes, "Ooh, looks interesting." Problem is where would you put it? We're already trying to clear out bicycles, right? You get something like that. That's going to eat up a lot of space. It's wide like a tricycle, but it's long like a shopping cart, plus a bicycle. So, yeah, as much as I would say, I'd like to try one of those, I know that I would never ride it on a daily basis. I mean, why would I need it? Unless you're going shopping or something, why would I need something like that? But like I said, I know that those things are very popular in Europe. Interesting thing, too, is the company has prices in English pounds. So I'm thinking, what is this, an English product? What is this? Do they have any U.S. presence here at all? So anyway, I would tend to think it would be kind of tough to deal with. I mean, on a repair issue, it might be an issue, and then also about the support, you know. So I said, no, I think I'm going to pass on something like this. It's pretty expensive. I think it's over 3,000 pounds, and based on the conversion rates. I mean, that's pretty expensive for U.S. money. So anyway, I'm going to pass on it. So that puts us at 87 bikes that we've turned down now. I mean, it's shocking how many bikes have been offered for me to do a review for. And I've just simply not responded or just turned it down and told them I wasn't going to do it. But yeah, I appreciate though that these companies are finding me and asking if I would be interested. I appreciate that at least. But I don't want to take something that I know I can't use or won't use, and it's just it's a waste of a lot of money on those companies' parts to give it to me. So I don't typically do that. And people have said, you're giving up a lot of money, Russ. I go, well, it's not always about the money. You got to look at your integrity. You got to look at, are you wasting people's money? I mean, sure, they get some advertising if I did it. But no, I like to give the companies a little bit more than just a one-time video. I mean, these people send so much money to you via their products. Obviously, it doesn't cost them $3,000 something. I mean, they're the manufacturer, but still, I don't like people wasting their money and energies if I can't help them well enough. So it's just the way I am. Okay, if you don't agree with that, you think I'm just money, not interested in getting all this money. Yeah, a lot of times it's as much as I would like to have all the money, I want to earn it properly. So there you go. All right, let's take a ride over here. All right, this lady's taking photos. I think what she's doing is she's probably maybe getting a house ready for sale, maybe. Yeah, you know, a lot of times when you see people taking photos of their houses, she had a tripod and everything. They could have hired a professional photographer to take photos for the listing, right? Yeah, I used to teach photography. I had a photography school, as I mentioned in the past, and I had a number of students who came in for my real estate photography course, and taught them how to properly shoot real estate photos. Now, you may think that should be pretty easy to do, but it's harder than most people know how to do. You know, you have to balance lighting from the inside to match the outside lighting. You know, a lot of times when people shoot photos indoors and then you have a window, you either notice it's all dark outside or it's all washed out outside. Well, that's not a good way to do it. Wouldn't it look better if you could see the brightness properly for the house and also the exact same brightness outside, so you can actually see the outside too? Yeah, well, that's photography skills. Learning how to do that is important. So people would take my class, the real estate class, and then they would learn how to do those things properly. Makes them more, makes their listings more attractive. People might buy the house, right? So anyway, that's a photography issue. So what about this cruiser here? Well, we haven't taken it out that much this year. We did it a couple times, but not that much really. Like I said, there's so many other bikes that come in. Sometimes you forget about the main ones that you have here. It is, like I said, my very first review bike, and I like it a lot, actually. I mean, when people ask me, you know, what's a good bike to consider, and it's not real expensive but has some power, yeah, I usually, I tell them, hey, maybe you should look at the Cruiser. Now, the Cruiser is called a mid-step cruiser. Well, you really can't step over this thing. It's just a bar on top of the battery. Essentially, it's not quite a step over design. It's not, you know, it's not level. It's kind of follows the curve of the battery, but that makes it tough to kind of step over. So or step through, I mean. So I still look at this as kind of like a step over bike, really. You got to swing your leg over it, really, to do it. Hi. So really, I think it's not for everybody, but if you can handle a bike like this, it does a really good job. It's got a lot of power to it, and it's built really well. 52 volt battery, 15 amp hour battery. You get the Pro version of it. Costs a little bit more, but they give you hydraulic brakes then. Otherwise, it comes with standard mechanical disc brakes, which are okay, but the hydraulic brakes, of course, are better. And then they give you a larger battery. They go from 15 amp hours to 20 amp hours, which means you get more range. Range is really important. Many of you have actually said that the range is more important to you than the power of the bike. Yeah, in a sense, that could very well be. If you can't get to where you need to go because your battery's running out of power, that becomes an issue, right? So anyway, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll try to go and make a YouTube short for Magicycle. They asked me if I could do a short or two for them. I'm not going to post it on my site. I'm not really one to put shorts on there, but maybe I'll show this bike off a little bit. Let them see what it looks like. Let them see what modifications have been done to it. I always wonder how companies feel when people modify their bikes. I mean, if you modify a bike, you're basically saying, yeah, I don't like this and I don't like that. I want this to make it a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to make it your own, right? You gotta put things on there to make it work for you. This is also the only bike that I have dual mirrors on here. Usually when you buy these mirrors, they do give you two. They give you the left and the right. I usually only put the left one on because there's usually not a lot of space on the right-hand side because you got shifters there, you got brake handles in the way, you got a throttle here in the way, so I usually don't put the right hand mirror on, but yeah, I figured, well, I'd do it to at least one of them, so I did it on this one. So I have a number of right hand side mirrors that I don't actually even use, but I always use the left hand mirror. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to where I usually do my reviews. I'll do a quickie YouTube short for them. I'll use my new cell phone to do it. Yeah, iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'll use that to do it. Let's see how that works out. I set it up for 4K video at 30 frames per second. I haven't shot any video on it yet, so hey, let's use this as the first. So where are you going to be able to see the short? Well, you probably see it on the Magicycle site, I would tend to think, if they decide to use it. And maybe some ads that they'll do, maybe you'll see it there. But we'll see how we do for them. Like I said, never did the short before. I might mess this up all the way. We'll see how it goes. Alright, let's find a good spot here. This water level that's next to us, I can see definitely it's gone down in level. This is not, I think it's some type of retention pond or something anyway. Alright, I'll be right back. Let me do this short for them. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I did my little Magicycle short for them. Maybe you see it one day. Yeah, it's a little chilly today. It's I think it was like 65, 66 degrees when I left the house. Let's head down this way. And yeah, I've got my long sleeves on here. I've got sorry to go across the camera there. These long sleeve shirts are UV rated to kind of help in UV protection, but there's not a whole lot of sun out right now. Yeah, everything's a little wet. The entire path is wet. It's not drizzling on me now or anything, but I know eventually it's going to start to rain. So yeah, it's forcing me to stay around the same areas. I can't really go out when it's threatening to rain. So yeah, so what else has been new? Well, I've been getting some comments lately. Yeah, I have some interesting comments all the time. Now, I've never had a negative comment, really, on my knee replacement videos. You know, most people, when they look at that, they're knee patients, right? They're guys that looked up, you know, they got knee replacements going on or coming up or something, so they start searching on the internet and they run into my channel because I have hundreds of knee replacement channel videos on my channel, knee replacement videos on my channel. And so they're searching for things, you know, sometimes they're searching for a little sympathy because they got a lot of pain going on, like I did. And this guy poses on one of them, and he says, you know, having the knee replacement and marking up the knee and stuff, he says, what a clown. What a clown. What an insensitive person, let me say that, okay? I was going through a lot of pain when I made that video. It was one of my first videos. And you can see I've got the bandages on. Underneath the bandage is a knee that's been cut open. And you know, for those who don't know what a knee replacement is, they essentially disassemble your leg. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing holding your leg together is the skin once they cut it, because they're taking the bone apart. Yeah, they take that whole thing out and they put a artificial knee in there, which is made out of metal. Then they got to sew you back up. And if you've ever gone through any type of surgery, when you get sewed back up, you don't look too good underneath that bandages. When I saw it, I was, wow, it looked like a football being sewn up. I says, is this ever going to look better? Well, today, yeah, it looks like a regular knee, but you got a scar there, of course. But yeah, to have an insensitive person like that make a comment like that is uncalled for. Yeah, he was banned immediately. Yeah, we don't need people like that. Thank you. We don't need people like that making comments for other knee patients to see. That's ridiculous. Well, you know, the same thing too. We get comments for this channel as we do e-bikes. There's people who hate e-bikes, and there's people who don't like what I say or whatever. So, you know, we get a lot of bad comments there too. But never for the knee replacement. That's really insensitive, in my opinion. You know, when you're making fun of people who are in pain, that is not good. It just kind of shows you the kind of people that are out there in the world. Those things really rile me up when I see that. I don't care for it. So what else is up? I was talking to the guys at the bike shop, and I told them, yeah, I've been called every name in the book. He was kind of surprised. This is the life of a YouTuber. You know, they will call you out for everything and say you're doing this wrong and you're doing that wrong, and they'll call you every name. Some people do, under there's trolls, they just do that to rile you up. It's just amazing that people spend the time to do that, to try to hurt somebody else. Yep, a lot of bad people in the world. Anyway, so this bike has been modified to go to 28 miles per hour. So let's talk about this 28 mile per hour thing, okay? Now, some bikes you can throttle it to 28 miles an hour. True Class 3 bikes, you cannot. The throttle will help you to 20 miles per hour, and then if you want to go to 28, you have to pedal that to get to 28. Well, this one doesn't do that. This one will throttle up to 28 if you wanted to. Personally, I like it, but of course, if you go by the letter of the law, that's not true Class 3. Others have said, you're riding a Class 3 bike in the forest preserve. That's not allowed. Technically, yeah, that's not allowed. But what am I gonna do? Bring it back down to Class 2 every time I go to the forest preserve? Take it off Class 2, put it into Class 3 when I go on the street? I mean, I'm not gonna do that either. The way I see it is, if I'm not traveling past, let's say, the posted 15 miles per hour, which of course a lot of people pass it up, but I try to stay within 15 to 18 miles an hour when I'm on those paths. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it just accidentally goes over. Yeah. Slow down at the stop sign. Stop at the stop sign. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I think if you have it set for Class 3 and you go through the forest preserve, if you don't go 28 miles an hour on it, how is that going to bother anybody whether you click the switch or you didn't click a switch? Believe me, it's not easy to keep going back and forth and fixing things exactly right. It's too difficult. I think they need to re-examine some of these rulings. They should really say something like, you can do a Class 3 bike on those things, but you can't go past 15 miles an hour. That's so much easier to say. And I think people would understand why that has to be, okay? So I don't think they should just restrict the bike. I think they should just simply restrict the speed. I think that would be a lot easier and makes a lot more sense. Many people have said this before in the past as well, that some of the rules that they have on the roads just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like, who wrote these things? Obviously, it's not people who ride bikes or rides e-bikes. They don't understand it. But they're the guys that are making the laws. So anyway, I was talking too recently about the stops. We've talked about stops at the stop signs for forever on this channel. Yeah, I'd like to see them change that too. That should really be considered a yield sign for bikes. You know, they should slow down, take a look. If there's no cars, there's no people around, then move forward. But not until every state changes it. That's not the case. So, but yeah, when you fall, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's usually when you're stopping. It's not usually when you're riding. I mean, you can crash into somebody or something, then it's when you're riding. But usually when people fall, it's when they're trying to stop. Each time that I've fallen, it had nothing to do with my ability or inability to ride a bike. It was just that my leg strength wasn't strong enough. I leaned in that side, and then I went down because I couldn't hold up the weight of the bike, and I couldn't hold up my weight itself because the weakened leg and weakened knee just didn't have the strength. So So imagine doing that for stop signs. You know, you're stopping and you have to hop off the bike. You have a more of a tendency to fall over at that point. That's why a rolling stop is actually a better thing to do. And I think most cops, if they've ever ridden a bike, they understand that. If they've never ridden a bike, they don't understand that. You know, stop fully, do a 3-second stop. Well, that means you got to hop off the bike. You can't balance it for 3 seconds. It's too tough. So, yeah, I would love to see our state change that ruling. So, you know, the best way for me to do it would be is here's a stop sign. I roll up to it. I slow down. I look around. Nothing's there. I keep going. Okay? I think most cops would let you do that. You know, and if you explain to them this is why I do it, they'll still give you a ticket. If they stop you, they'll probably give you a ticket. You're gonna explain why you do it, but they won't listen to it. Most of them won't listen to it. So, you ever get out of a ticket? Nothing to do with e-bikes again. Have you ever talked your way out of a ticket? Some people can do it. You know, they'll explain why they did what they did. You get a sympathetic ear. The cop might just give you a warning. Have you ever gotten one of those? Write it in the comments if you ever gotten a warning instead of a ticket, but you deserved a ticket. If you're willing to admit to it. I actually got out of a ticket once because of that. Actually, I was starting a new job, and I was heading towards the job, and of course you're kind of excited to go on your first time going on your job, you know. And I know that, you know, I had just moved back from California to Chicago area. I was going through a residential area. I was going a little bit fast, I guess. Cop pulls me over. And, oh, I gotta ride past this thing to show it to you guys. I gotta go around here. And I told the cop, I says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I know I must have gone a little bit fast. I'm too excited to go to my job." I says, "I hadn't had a job since I moved back, and I really can't really afford to get a ticket at this point." He says, "I'm just starting to work again." So he just looked at me. He says, "Okay." He says, "I'll give you a warning this time, but slow down." Yeah, so I talked my way out of a ticket. But it was the truth. I didn't make it up. I was going to my very first day on the job, and wasn't really paying attention to that. I was just too excited to go. So I don't know how fast I was going. I think I was probably doing probably around 30 miles an hour in a residential zone. You know how easy that is sometimes to hit 30 and not know it? I wasn't like purposely blasting through, but of course he could still ticket you for that. So he just let me out of it. Yeah, do you have any good stories like that? Yeah, put it in the comments. Whatever you want to admit to. All right, let me show you this Halloween decoration stuff. We were talking about some houses are decorated already. Yeah, I was riding by, saw it out of the corner of my eye. Let's see if we can see it. Oh, here's FedEx. It's not for me, but hey, FedEx, our favorite place, our favorite company, our favorite delivery guys. Yeah, right. I don't think so. Okay, take a look at this one on the right-hand side here. They got all these monster-looking things. Let me grab the camera here. Let me see if you can see it. You guys see that? Yeah, they do all out. They got bags over the top of some of them, I guess, because it's raining, so they didn't want to get it all wet. So, either that or they're suffocating those monsters. I don't know what they're doing over there. So anyway, the 15 amp hour battery only gives you X amount of range, but you know, I charged it up the last time I used it. Didn't charge it up today or anything, but I'm at 83%, so it's not too bad. Been throttling the entire time. Yeah, I throttle a lot when we're on the bike talking. Yeah, I don't usually pedal until I sign off. Then I'll pedal my way home to get a little bit of exercise. Even then, it's not lots of pedaling, but it's enough to kind of keep my knees moving. I'll pedal a little bit here. if I overdo it while I'm on camera, you hear me huffing and puffing. That's never a good thing. That never sounds good. So I tend to throttle it instead of pedaling it. Oh. Hiccup. Yeah, we should edit that out, but you know me, I don't edit anything. Very rarely do I edit anything out. Yep, that's the way we do it here. I mean, I know there are some YouTubers, they edit every word that they make a mistake. I mean, one sentence got like 5 edits in there. I don't do that. Forget it, takes too much time. It's not real. Who wants to see jump cuts 5 times within a sentence? Who wants to see that? Just leave it alone. That's the RUSSISRIGHT method of editing. Yeah, don't edit it. Just leave it. Move on with your life. Yeah, I told you guys that I usually look around as I'm riding. You know, my head's turning left and right. You can't see that because the camera's mounted on my chest, so that doesn't turn. And of course, you can't really tell that either. All right, let's make sure this lady knows I'm coming here. She does. Can't tell that because the microphone is attached to my helmet, so if I turn my head, it's still in the same position relative to my mouth. So this is why, you know, I can look all over the place and I still sound pretty consistent. I've had people ask me whether I do voiceovers on these rides. No, I'm talking as I'm riding. Voiceover just takes more time. Yeah, I think you'll notice there's a thing with me is that I try to do it the easiest way I can do it. I mean, if I had to edit everything, do voiceovers, all sorts of stuff, that would just take way too much time and effort. You know, even getting ready for the ride takes effort. I've mentioned this in the past, but I know we have a number of new people here. I'll mention it again. I've always said going out on a bike ride for me is like going to war. You know what I mean? You got to get yourself ready. When you go to war, you check your weapons, you do all sorts of stuff, right? Same thing with bike riding. I check my ear pressure. I pump in the air if I need it. I make sure everything's tight. Got to put on a whole bunch of stuff. I put on a cell phone mount on the bike because I kind of sometimes move the mount from bike to bike because I don't have mounts for every single bike. I just move them. And same thing with the lights, right? I have to sometimes move them. So I got front blinking lights, rear blinking lights. I got cell phone mount to put on. Got to get water in my water bottle. Got to put on gloves. I got to put on whatever shirt I'm wearing as I'm riding. I got to put on my safety vest. I have a yellow safety vest on. Got to put on my helmet, got to turn on the light to the helmet, got to plug in the microphone to the audio recorder, got to change the batteries to the audio recorder, what else have we got to do? Make sure that the GoPro battery is changed, make sure I've reformatted the memory card for the GoPro so I can use the memory card for the next ride. Yep, got to put on the audio recorder, I strap that to my waist. Yeah, it takes a long time to get the bike ready to go. Easily, it could take me 15 minutes before I could even head out the door. There was a time, I remember, when you could just hop on a bike and go. You know, when you were a kid, how much prep work did you do to get on your bike? You didn't. You hopped on it and you left. That's basically what we did. But today, yeah, I got to put everything on. I got to check every connection. By the way, you should check your front fork to make sure your front wheel, if you have a quick release on the front wheel, make sure that's tight. Some bikes loosen up. Yeah, I remember my Rad Rover 5 sometimes could loosen up. I would check it to make sure that it's tight. So, anyway, I do that at every single ride. It takes forever. This is why usually before I leave, I'm already all sweated up before I even get out of the house from all the effort to put things together. And so when I'm riding and the wind blows up against me, that's my relief. That's when I go, ah, nice. It's got some cool breeze. Like today, it's a cool breeze. It's not bad. I prefer 70 degrees, but you know, it's close. It's probably like 66, 67 right now. Got a nice cool breeze. It cools me back down. Yeah. Wear your helmet too, by the way. I usually am sweating underneath the helmet until I start getting a cool breeze because, you know, even before I leave, like I said, I'm already sweating. Yeah. And for those who don't know, and I'm sure you probably do, I use the X-Nito helmet, X-Nito brand. Yeah, the X-Nito helmet is rated to 28 miles per hour, which is good for us because we ride up to 28 miles per hour. You need to have protection. So if you're going to get a helmet, get one that's rated well. Most helmets don't go that high up. They're rated, you know, I think if they're lucky if you get like 12 to 15 miles an hour rating. These are rated 28. Cost you a little bit more, but how important is your head? Kind of important. So yeah, spend the money, get a good helmet. I have affiliate links, of course, on everything. Those affiliate links, I tell you, I appreciate people buying it because I know a lot of you guys use them, and because you order stuff on Amazon, I see it. You know, yeah, Amazon gives me a few pennies every time you order this or that. Whenever you use my affiliate link to place your order, and yeah, it helps out. Every little thing helps. Yeah, when you're retired, every little thing helps. I can hear the comments. Then why'd you spend so much money on the iPhone? No, I like the iPhone's camera. Yeah, they tell me that the camera has a new telephoto lens on there. I took a look at it. Yeah, it zooms in really nice. Yeah, these are optical zooms. They're not digital zooms. This is another lens there. And that makes all the difference. Low light seems to be pretty decent too on this camera compared to my old one. So I plan to use this camera to do our green screen work when we're doing our inside videos during the winter. Yeah, because I can shoot it in 4K. And of course my riding part of the video will be in 4K, so we're going to look really good. Now people said, you know, you don't have good cameras when you're doing inside recording. I go, no, I do. I have my Nikon D850. That shoots in 4K. I could use that, but I don't want to set up a huge DSLR camera just for a headshot. I need something simple. I think the iPhone will be really easy to use to do that. So yeah, it's kind of a business expense at this point. Because I'm going to be using it for the YouTube videos too. No, you got to get the tools that works for you, whether that's an Android product, whether it's an Apple product, whatever. If you're used to it and it works for you, then it's worth the money, right? If you get stuff and you don't know how to use it, then not so much. But I'm pretty good at most of this stuff. I'm not scared of technology. I know a lot about technology stuff. So yeah, I think it'll pay off for us. All right, let's go forward a little bit more. Yeah, they cut the grass, and usually when these guys cut the grass, especially when it's wet like this, it's kind of a mess. It kind of gets all over, like grass clippings get all over the place. Yeah, they don't bag it. I mean, they can't. It's just too big. We're gonna put all this grass clippings, so it's just kind of mulched into the grass itself. But when a wet day like this, it just gets all over the place. And a lot of times too, when they cut it, and they mulch it in, it's, you know, then that cut grass kind of dies. Then it's got like a burnt out looking yellow haze over the top of the grass. Yeah. But you know, when it's cut clean and everything, like now, if you look, everything looks nice and green and everything like that. So that's what we want to see, right? All right, anyway, that's about all I really have for you guys for today. I just wanted to get out to make a video for you guys, and then also do one for the Magicycle. Ugh, a lot of bouncing around here. Good thing I have the suspension seat post. I really like the suspension seat post. Yeah, I would say if you don't have a full suspension bike, get at least a suspension seat post. It does add some height to your seat post, by the way. So if you normally ride with the seat post relatively lowered down so that you keep your feet on the ground, you put the suspension seat post, it's going to raise you above that. I mean, the springs are there. You got to have some height for that, right? So it's just something to be aware of in case you do decide to get a suspension seat post for yourself. But I do highly recommend them. I never had one before. I used to just stand on my pedals. I did that all my life, and then after I got the Deer from Magicycle, which is a full suspension bike, I says, wow, that's really nice. I wonder what a suspension seat post will do. So that's when I asked them, can I get a suspension seat post? And yeah, it does help out. Yeah, buy it from Magicycle if you can. Yeah, they're the guys that gave me the thing. So, I mean, I know you can buy it at other places, but yeah, they sell it pretty much about the same price. So yeah, go on the Magicycle site. Use my affiliate link too, by the way. You just use that link to get to Magicycle, and then you place the order for your suspension seat post. Yeah, I get a slight commission for that. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. You know, I know there are some channels that sell things on their channel. You know, that's how they make some extra money. I don't sell anything, but I do at least put the affiliate links. You know, if they give me the opportunity to make $1 or $2 here or there for recommending a product, then yeah, if you want to help me out, you do that. You use those links to get there. Oh, let me mention something too, which was interesting. A gentleman recently purchased the Magicycle. I think he bought a commuter bike. Yeah. Maybe Magicycle, or no, he didn't buy that. He bought one of these. He bought the Cruiser, but I think he bought the Cruiser Pro. And he used my affiliate link, and he used my code, but the code somehow didn't go through properly or something. So he contacted me and asked me, you know, can I do anything about it? Well, really, I can't, because I have nothing to do with their sales ends of things. But I did on his behalf. For this instance, I contacted my contact at Magicycle. I explained to them what happened, that he used the affiliate link. He tried to use the code. It didn't go through, but he placed the order anyway. So it was like a $200 discount. And so I says, could you help him out? Could you retro add that $200 discount to his order? And they gave me a confirmation number, so they knew it was legitimate. And I says, and if you can, give me a commission for that too. Because he did use the affiliate link. He said he doesn't know if it went through or it didn't. So Magicycle wrote back and said that they did apply the commissions thing for me. And then I said, well, did you also give him the discount? And then he reported back that he did get the $200 discount. So thank you to Magicycle for that. I know that, you know, it says if it wasn't done properly, it's a lot of times that they can't do anything about it because it's, you know, it just goes through. It's automated. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really know about it. It's just automated, and so. But because I did tell them what had happened and I told them the confirmation number and everything, they were able to confirm it. So they gave him the money and gave me my commission for it too. So now each time you guys use those affiliate links, I do get a little commission. I think everyone knows that that's how it works on YouTube. And so I appreciate it when you use the link. The key is the codes save you money, but the links give me the commission. So if you access their website by yourself, you go directly to whoever's website by yourself, and then you just use our codes, we don't get anything for that. The only way YouTubers make something out of it is you got to click the link to get to their website. That's what gives us our commission. So that's how it works. I mean there could be at this point hundreds of bikes that have been purchased through the Russ is Right channel that didn't use the link, and so yeah, I get absolutely $0 for that. All right, you get your couple $100 off, but I get zero. So, but that's how we make our money on YouTube. Is YouTube gives us money for making videos, because when the ads are running, we get a percentage of that ad money that the advertisers pay for. But then when you purchase something through the affiliate links, we get some money for that too. But you got to use the affiliate link for us to get credit for it. Otherwise, we get nothing. So many of you I know have told me that you have bought your bikes and stuff like that because of the channel, because they appreciate that, I try my best to do a decent video for you guys every single day, except for Sundays and Mondays. And so to reward me for that, they use the affiliate link. So anyways, just wanted to at least make that comment. Make sure everyone knows how it works. So I don't hide the fact that we get a few dollars here and there, but like I said, as a retired guy, every little bit helps. It really does. I think that's what's going to help sustain me through retirement, is this YouTube channel. So anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That helps too, by the way. That helps, definitely helps if you hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. I know a lot of people think, subscribe is going to cost me money. No, it doesn't cost anything. All it is you click a button saying that you like it, and then so what happens is YouTube will let you know when a new Russ is Right video comes out. It suggests videos to you. So when you pull up YouTube, you might see, oh look, there's a Russ is Right video. That happens if you hit the subscribe button. It kind of makes YouTube know that, hey, I like this channel, I want to see more from it, and it'll generate that for you. So, and for the YouTuber, what the subscription button basically does, dogs are always barking at me. What that subscription button does, it tells the advertisers, hey, a lot of people like watching this channel. A lot of people like watching this channel. We should advertise on that channel. You see what I'm saying? That's where the subscription clicking helps us. Okay, and if you share the video to somebody, that helps us too, because more people get to see it, and that generates more potential income for the YouTuber too. All right, enough of that. I'll talk to you guys next time.